Every year, children all over the world wake up on Christmas morning and run to see what presents Santa Claus has brought them. That's the way it's always been. But very few people know that one year, not long ago, Christmas almost didn't come. Hello, I'm the Sandman, and this is the story of what happened that night. It was Christmas Eve, and inside the workshop, all the elves were hard at work, hurrying to finish all the toys by midnight.
We've got to keep on working. This is our final test.
This is Christmas Eve and we can't even stop to rest.
Turning screws and tying shoes and sewing up the toys.
So Santa can deliver them to all the girls and boys. There's lions and there's tigers and a big long necked giraffe. A funny looking clown who's guaranteed to make you laugh. We've got to finish up the toys and send them on their way. Tomorrow will be Christmas Day. There's penguins just like Gilbert and funny looking poses.
You make them do most anything or punch them in the noses.
Big red fire engines and little painted wagons. Big reindeer with floppy ears and all their tails are wagging.
A little silver trumpet and a cymbal and a drum. A trombone and a tuba and a guitar you can strum. Put them all together and let's give them all a hand and listen to the all-elf band. We've got to finish up the toys and send them on their way. Tomorrow will be Christmas Day. Tomorrow will be Christmas Day.
As the song ends, Virgil, the foreman of the workshop, speaks to the other elves.
All right, Caruso, less eating and more work. We don't have a lot of time, you know. All right, girls, no time for primping. I know the Sandman will be here tonight, but we've got more important things to worry about. Good work, Slugger. Keep those boxes coming. Okay, everybody, hold it down. Santa has something to say.
Still got that cold, hey, Virgil? Well, everything looks like it's going smoothly, but you've still got a lot of work to do. This is our big night, you know, and it's getting late.
Then Snuffy and Gilbert come in with coffee for Santa Claus.
Now I've got to go to sleep. I'm getting up at midnight to deliver the toys, and I need my rest. So if anything goes wrong, work it out the best way you can. But don't wake me up.
Suddenly, Gilbert's cap gets caught and he bumps into Snuffy, and the coffee pot flies straight at Santa.
Never mind, Snuffy. I've got to change clothes anyway. Why don't you go out to the barn and brush the reindeer down and get them hitched up to the sleigh? That will be your job tonight. Now remember, everyone, if something goes wrong, work it out the best way you can, but don't wake me up.
Oh, nothing will go wrong, Santa. As long as old Snuffy stays out of our way. They all think I'm too old to help out. They think I'm just in the way. Maybe they're right.
Old Snuffy has been the best elf I've ever had, but he may be getting too old. The old elf's home up on the hill is a nice place to retire to, but I don't think he wants to retire just yet. I hope old Snuffy can still help us out in some way.
Poor old Snuffy. Christmas is supposed to be a happy time, but Snuffy never felt sadder in his life.
Where
Where do you go when inside you know that you're no longer needed? Where can you turn when you still yearn to grow what you've seeded? Guess your time was then, and their time is now. And after all the years of learning how, who can you call when you give all and all you get back is laughter? Why can't you win when just a friend is all that you're after? Why can't they see there's lots you can give? Don't they know that growing old just shows that you know how to live? When did it show? So they would know that your best was behind you. You did all you could. When will the good ever come back to find you? But one day they all will come to the end, and they just might need a friend, and maybe then you'll be needed again. Back inside the workshop, the elves are busier than ever, hammering nails, turning screws, winding toys, and tying shoes. And this is where I come into the picture.
Hey, everybody, it's the Sandman.
Hey, guys and gals, what's happening?
Oh, isn't he dreamy?
Sorry I'm late, but I had to run in with a couple of polar bears. But I'm okay.
Ooh.
Well, I've got the sleeping sand for the Rockabye baby dolls.
What's the sleeping sand do, Mr. Sandman?
What's the sleeping sand do? What's the sleeping sand do? Why, without my sand, these dolls would never close their eyes. Here, little guy, let me show you. Just a little pinch of sand can make two little eyes feel weary. You'll wrinkle up your nose and your eyes will start to close from just a little pinch of sand. Just a little pinch of sand can make you feel a bit like dreaming. And soon you'll fall asleep and you'll be counting sheep from just a little pinch of sand. There's nothing you can take to keep you wide awake when the Sandman comes to town. There's nowhere you can hide that'll keep you open-eyed when the Sandman spreads his sand around. Just a little pinch of sand can sure make everything look hazy. So close your sleepy eyes and don't apologize, 'cause sleeping is a cinch with just a little pinch of sand.
Just a little pinch of sand
can make you feel a bit like dreaming.
So close your sleepy eyes and don't apologize, 'cause sleeping is a cinch.
Sleeping is a cinch,
With just a little pinch.
just a little pinch.
Sleeping is a cinch. With just a little pinch of sand. Well, I gotta get going. There are a lot of kids trying to stay awake tonight, and I've got to get them to sleep before Santa gets there. Now be careful with that sand. It works on elves, too. I'll catch you cats later. Well, I headed down to the reindeer barn to see if I could get old Snuffy to help me out with my airship.
Gilbert, you might as well go back to the workshop. No point in your hanging around a useless old elf like me. You need to be with the young elves.
Well, little did old Snuffy know just how useful he was about to become.
Not too much sand. We want these dolls to wake up when they're supposed to.
Suddenly, Virgil started to sneeze. A big sneeze. A monstrous sneeze. A gigantic sneeze right into the bag of sleeping sand. Phew! The sand quickly filled the room, and all the elves started yawning and fell fast asleep. And that's when I arrived at the barn. Hello, Snuff, my man.
Oh, hi, Sandy.
Well, why the long face, Snuffy? It's Christmas time. You're supposed to be happy.
How can I be happy when I'm not needed around here? I'm too old to help out anymore.
Nonsense. Why, that's why I'm here. I need your help.
Really? But how can I help you?
Well, it's my big balloon. I need someone to untie the ropes after I get in. Otherwise, it'll take off without me.
Well, I'll try.
What makes you think you're too old to help out anymore, Snuffy?
When you're old and elfless, most folks think you're helpless, and no one says hello as they go rushing by. I guess my age is showing, I might as well be going goodbye.
Aw, Snuffy, my man. You got it all wrong. Listen. Though you've lived much longer, that shows that you are stronger, and you can still fly high if you'll just spread your wings. And age is just a number. The future holds such wonderful things. And Snuffy, we still need you to help us find our way. To brighten up our day as only you can do. And you can teach the children all the things you've learned. Show them where to turn, they still believe in you.
But I am old and feeble, wobbly and knock-kneeble, and I can't seem to fit no matter how I try. So what's left to believe in? I might as well be leaving. Goodbye.
Oh, Snuffy, don't go.
Goodbye.
Snuffy, they need you here. They really do.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Snuffy!
Goodbye.
Well, Little Gilbert had made his way back to the workshop, but he couldn't reach the door latch. So he simply grabbed his long cap, twirled it above his head like a lasso, tossed it around the door latch, and pulled. The door opened, and Gilbert walked inside, and his eyes bugged out. He couldn't believe what he saw. All the elves were sound asleep, and the toys weren't finished. There were elves sleeping everywhere. Then Gilbert realized what had happened when he saw Virgil with his head in the bag of sleeping sand. Gilbert flew out the door and raced to the barn to try to tell Snuffy what had happened.
No, Gilbert, they don't want me up there. I'd just be in the way. Didn't you see them laughing at me? Is something wrong at the workshop?
Well, Gilbert finally convinced Snuffy that something had gone wrong. So Snuffy ran to the workshop with Gilbert close behind him. When they reached the workshop, Snuffy couldn't believe his eyes. Everyone was sleeping and the toys were only half finished.
Oh no, I've got to tell Santa.
Then Gilbert started screeching, reminding Snuffy of what Santa Claus had said.
If something goes wrong, work it out the best way you can, but don't wake me up.
Okay, Gilbert, you go get the reindeer and bring them here as fast as you can.
Well, Snuffy realizes that it's up to him to see that the toys are finished in time for Christmas. So he immediately puts the reindeer to work. He has them nailing with their hoofs and painting with their tails and sewing with their antlers. And Gilbert is running the assembly line lever. And Snuffy, well, he's working harder than anyone, directing every movement. The work goes on into the night until finally the toys are finished.
Just in time. It's almost midnight. I've just got to get the toys loaded and hitch up the reindeer.
Snuffy puts the last toy into the giant bag and begins pulling it to the sleigh. Gilbert helps as Snuffy pulls and tugs until finally the huge bag of toys is loaded.
I'm so tired. I've just got to rest for a moment and then I'll hitch up the reindeer.
Gilbert screeches, reminding Snuffy that he must hitch up the reindeer. But Snuffy is sound asleep.
I'll fix you some hot chocolate for the trip, dear.
Good idea. I'll go check and make sure everything is ready. Everything seems to be fine. The elves have earned a good night's sleep, so I won't wake them. I just hope Snuffy has the reindeer hitched up.
Santa looks out, and there's Snuffy sound asleep on the sleigh, and the reindeer are not hitched up.
I just gave Snuffy one job to do, and he couldn't do it. I guess he has gotten too old to help out anymore. There's nothing I can do but retire him to the old elves' home.
Suddenly, the other elves wake up and come outside.
Santa, we're sorry you had to finish all the toys yourself, but I sneezed into the sleeping sand. It was an accident.
But I didn't finish the toys. I didn't even load the sleigh.
But if you didn't do it, and we didn't do it, who did it?
Gilbert proudly points to Snuffy, and the reindeer agree. Then Snuffy wakes up and thinks he's in trouble.
Santa, I was going to hitch up the reindeer, really I was, but I just fell asleep for a moment and...
Don't worry, Snuffy. We all know what happened tonight. I think all of us here owe you an apology.
That's right, Snuffy. You've shown us all that it's not how old you are on the outside that matters. It's how young you are on the inside. A person shouldn't have to retire when his age says so, but when he says so.
Tonight, Snuffy, you will ride with me to deliver the toys so that the world will know that Snuffy is the elf who saved Christmas.
There was an elf named Snuffy, the oldest elf they say. You'd find him in the workshop every day. But every year at Christmas, the younger elves would say, he's too old, he just gets in the way. But Snuffy said, I'm not too old, but they would not believe until the younger elves all fell asleep on Christmas Eve. Now everyone loves Snuffy, he's not too old, they say. Hooray for Snuffy, he saved Christmas Day. But Snuffy said, I'm not too old, but they would not believe until the younger elves all fell asleep on Christmas Eve. Now everyone loves Snuffy, he's not too old, they say. Hooray for Snuffy, he saved Christmas Day.